Number 10. Rockstar Chica. Something about those maracas, I suppose. For some reason, Rockstar Chica is a fan favorite when it comes to attractive animatronics. And there are a lot of people who have created fan art of her, imagining her as a cute blonde anime rocker girl, which is an interpretation of her look. Still, I think this version of Chica is one of the most odd in terms of people finding her hot, but there are people out there that do, so hey, no judgment. I've seen the fan art, I have the proof. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving what we are doing here at Top 10 Gaming, please go check out our newest channel, Most Amazing Top 10 Anime. Click that subscribe button. Do it! Number 9. Mangle. I didn't believe that Mangle could be sexy, to be honest. I had heard the rumblings, and I wanted to be able to deny that they were true. But then I looked up Mangle FNAF sexy. Do that at your own peril, because you will definitely find some very weird, very sexy things. I don't know how I feel about them. Personally, I think I feel uncomfortable. But there are people that really love Mangle out there, perhaps a little bit too much. When it comes to Mangle, I feel like the makeup is a big selling point for fans. That and the idea perhaps that Mangle is an interactive animatronic. I'm going to let you interpret that as you will, but I'm mainly talking about the fact that Mangle was disassembled and reassembled seemingly for fun. Pink is also just a color that I feel a lot of people like. It can be very feminine and very flirty, and this definitely sticks with people when it comes to how they perhaps see Mangle and the animatronic's potential sexiness, playfulness, and possibly feminine side. Number 8. Funtime Foxy. Funtime Foxy is just one of the cutest versions of Foxies that I think we have. I personally agree with this one being on the list, obviously. For me, I really love the coloring of this animatronic, and actually also the coloring of all the Funtime animatronics. Funtime Foxy is also an interesting animatronic in the sense that there is much debate surrounding the gender of Funtime Foxy. Some believe due to the makeup and coloring that Funtime Foxy is female, while others feel that Funtime Foxy, due to their bow tie and masculine voice, must be male. In Ultimate Custom Night, the animatronic was given male pronouns. For me, I think perhaps Funtime Foxy is kind of like neither and falls somewhere in between those two gender labels. Perhaps Funtime Foxy is a little bit more gender fluid than most animatronics. I've seen people reimagine Foxy as more feminine though, and it's a thing to behold, with fan art imagining a much more curvy version of this animatronic.
And at 7, the puppet. The puppet is an animatronic puppet, alright? I mean, it's in the name. And they're also a major antagonist, but also technically a good guy within the FNAF series. First appearing as the main antagonist of FNAF 2, but later on showing their heroic side. It possibly serves as the prize vendor of the newly refurbished Freddy Fazbear's from 1987, although it isn't also implied that it was originally from Fredbear's Family Diner as a security puppet, or at least that was the inspiration behind this version. After the pizzeria was only open for a few short weeks, it was then closed down, but the puppet, unlike the other toy animatronics who were scrapped due to possible malfunctions, was not scrapped, appearing later on in the new pizzeria from the first game, as evident by the dream cutscenes of multiple games, alright? There's a lot going on. And then also appearing as Lefty in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Lefty was also an animatronic that was intended to capture the puppet, as Charlotte Emily's father, Henry, knew that her soul was actually possessing the puppet. However, it's also widely believed that Charlotte is William's first victim, meaning that overall, they would have like the most significance to the story. Plus, have you seen like the way that it walks in FNAF 2 in VR before it jump scares you? That's creepy as hell, okay? No thank you. No. It's like a weird worm thing. I don't like it. And at 6, Jacu Chica. Jacu Chica is an antagonist exclusive to the Halloween Update DLC for Five Nights at Freddy's 4, replacing Nightmare Chica. She returns also as an antagonist on Ultimate Custom Night, but I mean, exclusive, I mean, in FNAF 4 they're exclusive, and then ignoring Ultimate Custom Night. Jacu Chica is a Halloween-themed version of Nightmare Chica. I mean, I feel like it's pretty evident. She's distorted, nightmarish version of Chica with several sharp teeth, wires coming out of the torn parts of her body. However, unlike her original counterpart, she doesn't have any eyes, and or like an endoskeleton head at all, really. Instead, they have a bright orange light that's coming from within their soul. I don't know. Their eye sockets and torso are like glowing bright orange to kind of fit with the Halloween theme. She also carries a jack-o'-lantern instead of a cupcake because, you know, Jacko. That's kind of how it works. And then also in Ultimate Custom Night, when the office heats up to 90 degrees, Jacko Chica will appear in both halls at the same time. And then once she is fully materialized, she will then jump scare you, ending the game. The only way to stop her is by closing the left and right doors at the same time to make her go away. But this won't work if the office reaches 100 degrees or more, alright? So yeah, we gotta deal with heat. You gotta deal with the heat. If you can't handle the heat, get out of the office kitchen thing. I don't know. I haven't played Ultimate Custom Night. How about doing number 5, Ennard? Ennard is the true main antagonist of FNAF Sister Location. He's composed of the endoskeletons of all the Sister Location animatronics, and then he also makes a return in Ultimate Custom Night because he's just a dick like that. Ennard is one of the many Funtime animatronics, and is like a human-like animatronic with a weird endoskeleton looking body. He has a white mask with a red nose, red eyebrows, a green and yellow colored party hat for some reason, because you know that makes it less creepy despite you being a giant robot made of wires. And it also has like a red button and then multiple eyes covering the body. But you know, the top hat, it makes it okay. And it also climbs within the vent system in Ultimate Custom Night, but unlike the other animatronics in the vents, he is difficult to track, appearing only briefly here and there when moving. He can't be seen in the vent opening, but he gives himself away by making like a squeaking sound before he attacks, because you know, that makes it easier. Just close the vent door and he'll go away, okay? But like aside from being probably one of the creepiest animatronics design-wise, this dude is just a whole load of worry, alright? He's crawling through the vents. Man is getting on a list 100%, alright? The FBI is watching him, I hope. God. Nightmare On is an antagonist exclusive, again, to the Halloween Update DLC for FNAF 4, although they do return in Ultimate Custom Night and FNAF VR. But you know what? We don't talk about that. They're exclusive to FNAF 4's Halloween DLC. Nightmare On is a human-like animatronic. I mean, it's the puppet, but a nightmare version of the puppet. And they have a white mask with black tears this time, black lipstick for some reason, white dots for eyes, and a row of sharp teeth that is sharper than me. Alright, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, although in this suit, I do look pretty snazzy. Ha, puns. Their body is black and it's supposed to look kind of like a skeleton with like a large chest and ribs protruding, kind of like me when I'm not wearing a shirt. They have a slender body, like really weird thin legs, and you know what, they kind of just look like a tentacle monster that you would see in certain kinds of exotic cartoons. During the night though, in Ultimate Custom Night at least, Nightmare On will appear if the mouse cursor lingers over them, and then the player has to like avoid the area that they are in, and if you don't do it in time, you're gonna get jump scared and die. Because you know that's how Ultimate Custom Night works. So yeah, just don't actually add them to the game. Just don't play Ultimate Custom Night. The only way to win is not to play.
Number 3, Ballora. I don't know what it is with people in Ballora, but there are a lot of folks out there who are seemingly like obsessed with her. It must be that, you know, severe like waist to hip ratio that she got going on. She got like very hourglass proportions, I feel. And perhaps her sense of grace, which lends to her, dare I say, beauty. Ballora is also quite feminine, which probably adds to people adoring her both in appearance and in terms of her behavior. Although she can still jump scare you in Sister Location, she's also a lot more timid or reserved, at least outwardly. She can sing and dance, so her talents are another reason people likely find her attractive, and her purple eyes, although we never really quite get to see them. Well, that is unless you're getting jump scared, but I'm not sure if people are here for that. I guess if you find scary things sexy, then you might be into that. Myself personally, nah, not so much. Number 1, Glamrock Chica. Glamrock Chica is definitely one of my favorite animatronics when it comes to the hottest one. That feels really weird to say. Glamrock Chica just seems like she usually has a fun-loving attitude. I mean, even when she's chasing after you and is horrifying, she still kind of seems like fun to me. Like, I don't know, I might not mind being caught by Glamrock Chica. Well, you know, except for the whole like jump scare part, and she probably is gonna like, you know, kill you part. This version of Chica seems to also love pizza, and I feel like she and I could both bond over that. I also really love pizza. The Glamrock animatronics also all come with some of the best designs in regards to their looks. So, hey, that's also a bonus. Number 10, Captain Foxy. I mean, what is better than regular Foxy? Definitely a more decorated version of everyone's favorite pirate animatronic. That's right, we're talking about Captain Foxy from the Curse of the Dreadbear expansion for the FNAF virtual reality game Help Wanted. I also really love Foxy's coat here. I feel like actually a lot of my choices for this list are going to be based on fashion, but hey, part of what makes an animatronic or a person I think hot is their sense of style. And pirate style is already something I'm super here for. I love pirates. So the added bonus of this piratey hat and coat with epaulettes on it only heightens the appearance of Foxy here. Epaulettes, by the way, are the name for what some might see as kind of like fancy shoulder pads on coats. They're actually used to symbolize a person's rank in the military, so either Captain Foxy is higher in rank than normal Foxy, or he stole this coat from someone that was a higher rank and who was, you know, working on the seas. That's probably more likely because pirate, so yeah. Epaulettes, when made from metal, can also be referred to as shoulder scales, FYI. I love that term, shoulder scales. Makes you sound like you're a cool dragon. And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you love what we do here at Top 10 Gaming and you love all of our FNAF content, why not subscribe so that you don't miss out on anything new we're putting out? I know some of you don't subscribe, so please subscribe. Do it. Number 9, Toy Freddy. I thought it was only fair that Toy Freddy got some love on this list, considering that so many of the toy animatronics were highlighted on the part 1, and only one other version of Freddy made that other cut as well. I know Freddy isn't often thought of as like the hottest or even like the most favorite animatronic of the bunch, which I think is kinda sad, considering he is the main mascot generally of Fazbear establishments. Toy Freddy has a cute and shiny look to him. One of my favorite things about the toy animatronics in general is the shine on them and their colored cheeks. Like they're wearing blush. Toy Freddy also sports a black bow tie and top hat with a red rim, making him look quite dapper, I gotta say. Number 8, Happy Frog. I like when people are happy. Honestly, I think that can be a hot quality. Not that you can't, you know, be hot and also be sad, because that also happens a lot. And I also like the color of Happy Frog's purple eyes myself. I've always liked the color purple, and honestly, I actually wanted to have purple eyes myself when I was a kid, although I'm not sure if that's actually a thing you can be born with. I always dreamed like maybe my eyes will change color and I'll have purple eyes. I know there are people who have been rumored to have purple eyes and claim that they have purple eyes, but I don't think that's actually a natural color that exists genetically. But let me know if I'm wrong about that. I also acknowledge that with Happy Frog's eyes technically being the color of magenta, some actually might see them as more pink than purple, but I guess that really depends on how you individually see color and, you know, also the color settings that are on your monitor. Happy Frog is one of the animatronics to appear in the Mediocre Melodies. She first appeared alongside her fellow bandmates in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator. Number 7, Lefty. I don't know what exactly it is about Lefty, but I just find him kind of handsome. Is that weird? I guess it's kind of weird. Lefty isn't maybe an animatronic that people immediately think about when they think hot, but I do. I think he stands out for me when it comes to good looking animatronics for some reason. I will say I've also seen people transform Lefty and reimagine him as a female, and even that has been pretty spiffy, I gotta say. Something I would love to see is Lefty get an eye patch like Foxy. I feel like he could really rock it. I feel like he'd look quite sporting and quite spiffy with an eye patch. There's also some weird imagery when it comes to Lefty's potential sexiness, with him being highlighted as a deadly sexy character, kind of like a more sinister version of Freddy, like a sexy villain if you will. Although technically in a way all the animatronics I guess are kind of villains for the most part, or at least antagonists, as many of them do try to, you know, kill you in game. Finding any of them, you know, hot is kind of weird, I guess. Number 6, Funtime Chica. I feel like the Funtime animatronics just in general really have just something going on with them. Maybe it's because they have the word Funtime in their name. Is there anything hotter than someone who advertises their love for having a fun time? Personally, I am here for people who just want to have fun. When it comes to Chica, there is also her coloring here to consider, and of course, the fact that it's Chica, but just in a fun time form. We always love Chica, don't we? We are big stands for Chica. Even with Rockstar Chica getting some love on this list, which I think truly speaks for how people are in love with this character. Because to me, Rockstar Chica, I don't know, not as hot. Funtime Chica, more hot though. Number 5, Toy Chica. Obviously, Chica is just one of the hottest animatronics out there. I don't think any of us are going to debate this. If you do want to debate this, meet me in the comments, let's have a debate. But among the different types of Chica animatronics, Toy Chica is considered to be one of the hottest ones out there. It could have to do with her very scantily clad appearance, with her like, she's wearing just like her little, it's like a bib basically, and like little, like basically underwear. Or perhaps it's thanks to her ability to, you know, remove her beak. I personally think Chica being able to remove her beak is really creepy, but I could see how other people might feel differently about it, because, you know, some people don't find a beak, I guess, hot. I don't know. Toy Chica is also generally depicted as being curvier than most models of the animatronic and has a focus on her eyes when it comes to fan art versions of the character. This is where it gets a little weird. The really weird thing is that this can extend to not just her big blue eye version with her beak and her eyelashes attached, but her other non-beak, like pinprick white light eye version, where she appears to actually kind of be missing her eyes and only have 2 little bright white lights peering out of her eye sockets. So I guess some people also find the creepy vibes hot when it comes to Toy Chica, which, okay, I see you. I see you. You are seen. Number 4, Roxanne Wolf. Roxanne Wolf is one of the newest animatronics, which is why I'm also a little bit surprised that she would be included on this list. But yet, we cannot deny how much love there is out there for Roxy, and I love that. I love that we have gotten new animatronics in Security Breach via Montgomery Gator and Roxanne Wolf, and the people have just completely embraced them and kind of fallen in love with them. I think that's really cool. Roxy comes across initially in the game as being all about herself, but later on we learn that there might be more to her after she becomes shattered, and she expresses great distress concerning that if she isn't beautiful any longer, people won't love her anymore. Oh, there's an amazing sense of like connection I think people feel with Roxy that doesn't quite exist with any other animatronics we've seen this far for that reason. I think it's a combo of her punk rock vibes and her complex personality that makes her attractive to fans. Also, you know, she got that hair. Her hair is very glamorous. It's very glam rockerous. Number 3, Montgomery Gator. Montgomery Gator is a pretty muscular appearing animatronic, which I think is why some people find him to be hot. He also just has really cool sunglasses in my opinion. I used to have a pair of sunglasses very similar to his when I was a teenager, and I gotta say, I miss those sunglasses. They were super cool. I would perhaps try to become a little friendlier with Monty just for like a chance at borrowing his sunglasses. Mine were orange though, and appropriately reminded me of a very glam rock-esque band, I suppose, Kiss. Well, not straight up glam rock perhaps, but you know, definitely similar vibes. If you aren't familiar with Kiss, if that was before your time, you should definitely check them out. They are a mood for sure, and they're definitely people that I feel like would wear sunglasses like Monty does. If they haven't already, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like pictures of them with star sunglasses. Number 2, Ringmaster Foxy. Ringmaster Foxy is another one that is pretty feisty. I heard everyone's clamors in the comments of the part 1 in this video series. How could I forget Foxy, you asked me? Oh, to be honest, I never forget Foxy. I would say Foxy and Chica to this day remain my few favorite animatronics in the game. Although I will say everybody's take on Roxy is also making me really like take another look at Roxy as well. Roxy maybe is really awesome. I have a little Foxy plush that was gifted to me that I cherish, and I'm still waiting for a Foxy FNAF shirt to pop up in some of my favorite fandom shops so that I can rep Foxy as well with my t-shirt collection. But I guess I've always thought of Foxy, I don't know, as my bestie, not necessarily a hottie, just like my BFF for life. Although, you know, pirates can definitely be hot. But what's hotter than a piratical version of Foxy? How about his Ringmaster version from Special Delivery? Honestly, the Special Delivery versions of animatronics don't get enough love on our channel. They're so creative, which is why I'm really happy to include Ringmaster Foxy with his whip hand on this list. What can I say? Whips are kinda great. They're kinda awful, obviously, but also kinda great. Number 1, Mermaid Chica. One of the weird things about Mermaid Chica was that I spotted her in Security Breach and then like was so amazed and stunned by her existence that I forgot that she also existed originally in Help Wanted. That's just how good the art in Security Breach is for her though too. In Security Breach, I think we only see her via art that appears in the world, but I'm still here for the idea of all animatronics possessing their own mermaid or merman or merperson versions, or just, you know, like aquatic versions of them in general. I really like mermaids and aquatic themes, so I'm very much here for this. Mermaid Chica initially appeared, I believe, in Help Wanted, and instead of the classic double shell that most mermaids, such as Ariel, sport, she appears to wear one giant clamshell, I think it's a clamshell, as a top. As cute as Mermaid Chica is, I gotta say, if you think about what she is, it's pretty weird and even like a little bit creepy. Part chicken, part fish. She's kind of like a weird animal hybrid mashup, but an animatronic. Also, if you had like a real Mermaid Chica, how would she walk? Does she levitate? How does that work?
And 10, Scrap Baby. Scrap Baby is a creepy animatronic. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Okay, Scrap Baby is by far creepier than the normal baby animatronic because, I mean, it's scrapped. So this costume certainly does it justice. Animatronics are a difficult costume to really make, okay? I mean, it's understandable because, you know, we're people and unfortunately don't have robotic limbs for the most part. Or if we do, we typically try and make it look like a real leg instead of a robot leg, but Scrap Baby is even more difficult because, you know, it's a scrap animatronic and it has a giant freaking claw. So yeah, Scrap Baby is very damaged and it's a recycled version of Baby, okay? Realistic reddish, orange, light blue hair, yellow pigtails. It's weird, alright? It's weird, okay? She has an orange top with red furls and it's very damaged, yet somehow Instagram user Gaia Spaziani was able to recreate this in an awesome way, okay? So very well done, and maybe you can use it as inspiration for yourself. And at 9, Springtrap. Oh boy. Craftix Gaming's YouTube channel features a video of a real Springtrap costume, and honestly, it's terrifying. Springtrap is the main antagonist of FNAF 3, and this costume is freaking nuts, okay? This is a very good costume, and while Springtrap may not be the scariest animatronic per se, he's not someone that I'm gonna tussle with, you know? However, I do want to talk about what's going on with this character, because my guy, you just dressed up as a possessed man who is inhabiting an animatronic unable to die, but yet still somehow decaying. I don't get it. You're quite literally dressing up as a serial killer at this point. Like in the FNAF world, if you dressed up like this, it would be you dressed up as like Ted Bundy. It was like an equivalent in this world, okay? So if you want to be in FNAF that badly, maybe don't dress as a serial killer is all I'm saying, okay? I know that's ironic coming from me, given that I wear a purple shirt on the regular, but do I look like I want to be in FNAF? No, I cry about it on the daily. I have made things very clear that I don't want to be in this world, and if you don't know that, go watch more videos, okay? But this is nuts, okay? That's insane, and if Springtrap was delivering me my pizza, I probably would cry.
Number 7, Mr. Hippo. Speaking of the mediocre melodies, I don't know, friends. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty really with this list in terms of animatronics that I have left to talk about, that one could consider as hot. So here we go with Mr. Hippo. I think for Mr. Hippo, I just really love his little hat and his purple coloring. Like I said, I really love the color purple. Also, why can't Hippo animatronics be hot? Why is that not a thing? In terms of animatronics that are falling apart or run down, the Mediocre Melodies group actually has a lot of animatronics who are in good shape by comparison to such groups as, let's say, the Nightmare animatronics. Mr. Hippo also has a flower on his chest, so that with his little black top hat makes him look dapper. And I don't know, I like an animatronic that looks dapper. I think that's hot, looking dapper. Number 6, Lolbit. Whether you are imagining Lolbit as male, female, or you know, their standard they themselves, it seems that you might find them attractive. At least that's what the internet seems to be claiming. If you don't believe me on this one, just look up some attractive fan art of Lolbit. It is out there. There's a lot of it. You might be surprised, or maybe not if you're already a big fan, that there is already just a lot of that kind of fan art out there. I find this especially surprising since while I know a lot of people do love Lolbit, which I respect, they're still considered to be a pretty minor character and in many cases are generally only shown as like a disembodied head, I think. But hey, Maybe people just really love the coloring, or are here for Lolbit's, I don't know, their glowing personality? If you're a major Lolbit fan, maybe you can enlighten us on the attractiveness of this animatronic in the comments, and why you personally like them. Number 5, hand unit. I don't really know what I'm doing with this list right now by including hand unit, but I guess what I find to be somewhat attractive about hand unit, if I had to pick, obviously 10 more animatronics that are considered hot, which is, you know, yeah, what we're doing here, is that hand unit is somewhat aloof and mysterious. Also, the original voice for hand unit that we hear in Sister Location, I like it. Sometimes hand unit makes me laugh in Sister Location, and other times they make me like really nervous. Mainly I like the idea of having a romance with an all-powerful AI that can control life and death. I think that's kind of a cool, albeit, you know, creepy idea. But hey, this is FNAF, so many of the things are both cool and creepy. It's a horror game. And one of the ways us FNAF fans deal with the absolute horror show of the lore and these games is by making our own headcanon about how animatronics, and by extension disembodied AI voices, which evidently is more what I'm talking about here, could even become dear friends over time who only want to protect us. I mean, I feel like having hand unit on my side would be really good, I'm just saying. This is a huge part of the reason why we are so willing to accept the protective and friendly nature of Glamrock Freddy and Security Breaches players. So I think it makes sense that in my mind I'm imagining a hand unit that's like really sweet and nice and, you know, just wants to bring me flowers. Is there anything wrong with that? Probably, but I don't care, I want flowers. Flowers are nice. Number 4, Sun and Moon, also known as the daycare attendant. Sun and Moon are both separate personas of the same character who works in the daycare at Freddy Fazbear's Mega Pizzaplex. For some reason, there were a lot of people in the comments requesting that Sun and Moon be highlighted as a hot animatronic. And apparently, this is because a lot of people really like him. And honestly, I've even seen these two sides of the same coin be shipped together as well from trying to look up fan art of them, which is like a weird concept to think about because, like, aren't they the same person? So how can you ship them together? There's lots of art with them having like a baby together, and I'm just like, but how will that? Okay, sure, why not? Why not? If you like it, it's fine. As long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, I think it's cool.
In at 3, Withered Bonnie. This Withered Bonnie cosplay is probably one of the scariest FNAF cosplays I've seen, and the scariest Bonnie cosplay. It is incredible that someone could actually do this, and it comes from the YouTube user The Nick of Time. At first, I legitimately thought that this was CGI instead of an actual costume, but lo and behold, it was just an insanely cool costume. Glowing eyes, seemingly actual aluminum parts, and a chest that opens that you can push out with the other hand, which results in actually quite the decent jump scare, okay? Frankly, in the video, I was kind of taken aback by that, so you know what? If that's where my pizza came out of, I don't know if I would take it. This kind of thing always impresses the hell out of me because, like, so far, the closest I've come to making a full costume was when I helped someone work on a costume, okay? But that's the closest I've got, and I can't even think to make something like this. So if you show up and my pizza pops out of, like, your abdomen chest area, I'm gonna tip you 100%. That's insane. But ultimately, in number 2, Glitch Trap. We know my issue with Glitch Trap, alright? We know that I just want to watch William Afton burn in the deepest pits of hell and then leave me be. I want him to be in actual hell and then stay there for all of eternity so that I can move on with my life, okay? I hate this I always come back thing that he's got going on, okay? It's stupid. And despite being dressed as the purple guy on various occasions, I still want William dead. So, when I saw this frighteningly realistic looking Glitch Trap costume, my nerves hit an all-time high. I think the sheer simplicity of a Glitch Trap suit is definitely something that makes this a hell of a creepy costume since, you know, the stitches here are very accentuated. It's very clear and made for the it has higher contrast than the actual suit in the game, but either way, it's freaking creepy. And if a serial killer is going to hand me my pizza, I don't know, I was gonna say something that would make the cops concerned, and I feel like I've done that enough, so like, let's not have serial killers hand me my pizza, okay? But you know what, good job, Bonnie Creations on Twitter, okay? But like, why'd you do this to me? And finally, into number 1, Purple Guy. While Purple Guy, again, isn't an animatronic, and I guess neither is Glitch Trap or Vanny, but you know what, I had to this list somehow. I think seeing some dude dressed in purple delivering me my freaking Freddy Fazbear branded pizza would actually scare me to death. Like, I don't wear purple on this channel anymore because people kept calling me the purple guy and the cops don't need any more ammunition against me, but also because I can't actually find that shirt at the moment. But still, this is something that I would absolutely do. If I had a car, I honestly might have actually delivered food for the Freddy Fazbear's pizza delivery service if it ends up opening in Canada. And you know damn well that if I was doing it, I would be dressing in all purple with a security badge on my chest, maybe even like a purple phone case for the occasion, just because it would be hilarious. Okay, I don't need a spring lock crank. Those aren't actually a thing in real life. While the term spring lock is used in real life, it's a totally different mechanism from what's actually in FNAF, okay? I'm certain most of you get the whole spring locks are real line from the Spring Locks and You How to Not Die Remastered thread from the FNAF wiki. However, actual spring locks are just locks that use spring. Like, from my research, what I gathered was that a spring lock in real life is, in simplest terms, if your front door's deadbolt was on a spring. Every other instance talking about real spring locks is just, it simply brings you to that page or it quotes that page. So yeah, spring locks as they're used in the games do not exist in real life. Okay, the term is used, but in the real life it's two separate words instead of one, and they are nowhere close to the same thing. In a 10 Circus Baby, top 10 worst anime betrayals, but it's FNAF. In Sister Location, we thought we finally had the first nice animatronic, like basically a prototype Glamrock Freddy, or at least we thought so at first. Baby was giving us tips on how to survive. She really seemed like she wanted us to live, but then what do we get for trusting her? Just like my ex, scooped and stuffed just like a Thanksgiving turkey. This was probably one of the most brutal things to happen to a character in the entire series, and it's all because we trusted Baby, alright? She made us feel safe, she gave us confidence, she prevented us from getting killed, only to use our body as a skin suit and then get kicked out of Enter not even a game later. This is why I don't trust Glamrock Freddy. Okay, Baby is legit one of the reasons that I have trust issues, and that's saying something. Like, holy damn, okay? I could have sworn throughout the whole of Security Breach that we were gonna get betrayed, and then Glamrock Freddy was gonna do the same thing. Like, lead us down to Afton and then pull a psych, I've been working for this but he didn't. However, thanks to Baby, I'm still pretty sure that this man is doing a long con. And if you're liking this video and you want to see more, be sure you're smashing that like button. Smash it like I'd smash Glamrock Trika. And make sure that you're subscribed, because YouTube randomly unsubs people sometimes. I don't know, okay? The internet is weird. Moving on. In at 8, Jetpack Balloon Boy. Jetpack Balloon Boy is Balloon Boy's third skin and the third skin of the steampunk event within FNAF AR. The skin was released on July 8th of last year, I think, maybe, after being leaked by Lumx's community tab on YouTube over 12 hours early. I mean, it's still better than Funko leaking the design of the Security Breach animatronics though, am I right? Jetpack Balloon Boy's body shape looks identical to that of Balloon Boy, but now he wears a brown leather coat and has wool inside of it because, you know, it's steampunk. And he also has a large pilot's hat that's got multiple gears, bulbs, other devices, kind of like, you know, this normal steampunk thing. He wears a pair of goggles, because of course he does, and the right lens is like kind of glowing green, and the left lens is broken, and it actually reveals a robotic yellow eye, as if this wasn't concerning enough. His shoes and arms are also made of bronze and metal, and they're covered with gears, because they're really pushing the steampunk thing. I don't think they use that many gears. But now, his sign also reads "Let's Fly," with big letters, being made out of scrap metal, and also bolted to the sign, because again, they gotta drive that point home. His balloon is decorated to look like a hot air balloon with gears, jewels, and curtains covering it. And finally, as his name suggests, he has a large jetpack on his back, which he will use to fly over your house and dive bomb it, because that's what steampunk does, right? Blow things up, I'm pretty sure. It sounds like it would be fun, although the whole "let's fly" thing is giving me Pennywise vibes, and I don't dig it. I don't like it. And at 7, Vanny. With Vanny being the villain in the last game, and already one of the most popular characters in the entire series, I know that she's not an animatronic, okay, but chill. There are bound to be plenty of costumes of the character. However, this specific one from Rojita Uwu on Twitter is probably the most accurate and creepiest one I've seen. And yes, I said Uwu with a straight face, and let's ignore it. Vanny being a reluctant follower does in a way technically make this also a glitch trap cosplay as well. We won't talk about it because that's not what counts unless you want to consider glitch trap an animatronic, in which case it's totally fine if you want to think that. This costume is probably the most realistic one on this list because, well, I mean, Vanny in the games ended up making her own suit and it's just a human inside, whereas the others like Scrap Baby or Springtrap are animatronics as well as being part human, be it soul or another body. And Rosita's costume actually follows the exact same concept. It's just a person who makes their own suit, which potentially makes this the scariest thing of all, but honestly, considering how she is currently the serial killer in the series, at least the version that actually has like proper working limbs, I would very much appreciate not seeing a real Vanny delivering me my pizza balls. No thanks. And at 6, Buff Helpy. Okay, so this may not be like cosplay or a costume that someone could reasonably wear, but Buff Helpy is probably the most disturbing non-cosplay character that I can really include on this list. If you don't already know, somehow, Buff Helpy is a meme that was created on a Daco FNAF meme review video and has ever since been haunting him and the rest of the community, okay? Don't get me wrong, I do love Helpy, but this Buff Helpy meme generated a whole load of buff FNAF character ideas that now terrify me. Nowhere is safe from these horrific creations. If you look up any character, you're bound to find a buff version of them at some point. It's kind of like those games where it's like, let's search up a character and see how long it takes them to be sexualized, and then they scroll down. Do that with a FNAF character, but see how fast it makes them buff, okay? It's the same thing that happens to Chica, but buff, okay? No matter what this is, like what form of psychological torment this is, I would not wish it on my worst enemy. However, I'm talking about it because, you know what? It's hilarious. If Buff Helpy showed up delivering my pizza, I would constantly order from this place. Not because I want to see some like buff shirtless dude in a Helpy mask actually handing my food, but because that is the most genius marketing ploy ever, and I would be very proud of them. Halfway through into number 5, Nightmare Freddy. Nightmare Freddy is one of the most iconic versions of the Freddy character, even if there are only 3 games that featured them, those being FNAF 4, Ultimate Custom Night, and FNAF VR. However, this Nightmare Freddy cosplay is absolutely insane, and in my opinion, it would have been the front runner for the Coupe de France cosplay competition, but that was back in 2017. The video was uploaded by YouTube channel Gorgon Geek, and this guy plays the robot thing very well, but as soon as he drops that microphone, he goes into like terror mode, which is certainly something to behold, okay? I would have enjoyed it if he had the frettles with him, but the moving mouth is certainly a nice touch on this costume, especially with the attempted jump scares that they do in the video, like the Imagine if this guy got up on stage in a freaking Nightmare Freddy costume and then just started twerking. That would have won them the gold, okay? I don't know if they won or not, but that if they had it, that's what would have gotten you the gold, okay? But also, if Nightmare Freddy was the one delivering me my pizza, I don't think that I would actually end up eating it, just from sheer fear that they would have poisoned it, or maybe you put too many chili flakes on it. I mean, like, come on, look at me. In it for Nightmare. I've said it before and I will say it again. Nightmare is the scariest animatronic from these games, hands down. Get it? Because I put my hands down. This guy will get me every time, and it's one of the reasons that I refuse to play FNAF 4. The other one is Nightmare Fredbear, okay? But at least I don't have to really deal with them in real life, right? Oh wait, yeah, just talked about it. This is only like a nightmare character created in the mind of a coma patient in a video game, but it is still the worst thing ever. Especially thanks to Zombunny Creations on Amino Apps, okay? We've got both Nightmare and Nightmare Fredbear. Ironically enough, Nightmare Fredbear is played by their twin sister. It's ironic because Elizabeth Apton is sometimes presumed to be Crying Child's twin sister, and anyway, these absolute hulking costumes are going to make me, let's say, drop a Snickers bar in my pants. If I saw this in real life, Jesus, imagine like actually like living in a house that's kind of laid out like the one from FNAF 4, and then like your kids want to play a prank on you and then they dress in these and they come from either side. For God's sakes, I would actually rather die. If that is what's going to happen, I do not want kids. My grandparents' house is kind of laid out like that, like not exactly, but it has like 2 sections of like on either side of the room, okay? So that could theoretically be reenacted, and if that ever happens, I'm going to cry. So if you start delivering my pizza dressed as Nightmare, actually good for you. Getting close to the end of number 3, Piranha Plush Trap. Piranha Plush Trap is Plush Trap's second skin in FNAF AR and the third skin to be added throughout the Wicked Tides event. He released on June 7th after being delayed for 3 days for unknown reasons, but we actually ended up making a community post about this when he was coming out. And personally, this is like one of the scariest FNAF AR skins ever added. Piranha Plush Trap is hardly like the original Plush Trap. Now they're made of like a more organic flesh-like material, even having like realistic gums. His mouth is littered with long, thin, sharp teeth akin to that of a, I don't know, piranha, and his eyes are extremely small and glow an ocean blue because, you know, that's how all like beautiful people are described in books, right? Oh, their eyes are the color of the ocean because, you know, that's Plush Trap is beautiful. On the sides of his head, he has glowing orange gills. His feet also glow that same orange, and his hands have orange webbing in between them that kind of stretches as he moves because, you know, they're piranhas. That's kind of how it works. Although the webbing is in between the fingers doesn't glow, luckily. His ears are covered in barnacles. His mouth, stomach, and right leg are all covered in like string-like algae. His body is fully covered in spikes, and his torso is also split open, revealing his ribs. And this thing is actually horrifying, and I do hope that we see them in another game instead of just in special delivery because this is terrifying. This would actually genuinely scare me. This is like the baby zombie of FNAF. And finally, in at number 1, the daycare attendant. This mother hubber. The daycare attendant, otherwise known in-game as Sun or Moon, is a superstar daycare attendant animatronic, obviously, that appears in Security Breach and is a recurring antagonist in its Moon form. As Sun, the daycare attendant they're upbeat, they're energetic, they're kind of similar to Funtime Freddy in that sense. They enjoy doing activities with children, such as putting on puppet shows and drinking Fizzy Faz, you weirdo. And when Gregory knocks down, like, the things to distract him, he kind of has to pick them up and he's panicking about it. I don't know why. He's also very serious about keeping the lights on because if they're off, he transforms into Moon. And then as Moon, they're really malevolent and aggressive and they're really angry for some reason. They constantly chase Gregory once the lights turn off, and then they attempt to punish him for, quote, going past his bedtime and being a naughty, naughty boy. Yeah, even though Moon still has a distaste for messes, they gotta clean it up as well, which is actually at least a little bit good because you can torture him while he's torturing you. But honestly, this kind of attitude that this animatronic has in general kind of gives me a whole like come see what's in my van, I got more Fizzy Faz in there vibe, you know? And straight up, I don't like that. It makes me feel like a deep-seated anger in the pit of my stomach, and it makes me want to throw this man to the floor and beat him until his brain wires spill out, which is fine for me to say in this case because it's an animatronic that I'm referring to, although I'm sure the prosecution has ended the video before I can say that. But hopefully my lawyer has unpaused the video right now so the jury can have an oh okay moment like in all of the movies when they start to truly understand my innocence.